Hi there and welcome back to Japan, where we're doing a track-by-track listen through to the new Band-Maid album that just came out a few minutes ago, online digitally, called Unseen Wealth. And we're on to track number 4, which is Manners. I hope you're following this track-by-track through in the little link in the description below. And talking of description links below, if you want to see the reaction, this is the review video. The reaction video is posted at a separate little YouTube player, which you can access by clicking the link in the description below that says, watch reaction. Just in case you haven't heard the song, or in case you want to watch how I reacted upon hearing it for the first time myself. Otherwise, I'm about to give you the review. So, spoiler alert, check out reaction, pause this video and check out the reaction if you haven't already, if you need to. Oh, and now it's too late, here comes a review, don't say I didn't warn you. I like this. So this was a sort of track that if it was isolated on its own, I would probably say, a little bit too, sort of rudimentary for them. Doesn't really sort of show any of their greater strengths or anything, but very good as a sort of head-banging, ass-kicking song. The reason why this works so well is you might have noticed that over the first two songs, I was saying that there's a great energy, but it's very similar energy between the two songs. And then obviously Afterlife follows, again, is a really sort of roaring track, plays that sort of high-speed energy. And I was thinking, how are they going to show variation? Now, like I say, I'm still looking for them to do something which varies a little bit from their normal rock sound. I want to hear them do something a little bit more like some of the crazy songs that they did on Conquer that went a little bit almost ballady in all kinds of different directions. And I'm sure we're going to get some more variation later on in the album. However, you just needed something to split things up a little bit at the beginning. You expect the beginning of the album to be where a lot of the pacier stuff is. And this was really great. They didn't lose the energy. They just changed the energy from being fast, crazy, to being all in the slow, the medium tempo, head-banging. And that's where the energy went. And that's an interesting way to convert it. Seems like a rudimentary choice. I mean, you could say, well, it's just something that's going to happen anyway by luck of averages. But it's the fact that this is such a deliberately mid-tempo song that this, tempo-wise, is so different. This is a song where, on the other three songs, Akane was blasting away, doing all kinds of crazy things. Here you could tell she was like, this is the bit where I know I have to step back and give everyone else a bit of room and just mark the beats. She had some great moments in it, don't get me wrong, but clearly you could tell that she was doing what any great musician does, which is knowing when to be at the front, when to accent things, and when to know that your role in this song is very much a background one. And she was really good at that. This song had a real heavy energy. Like I say, it reminded me massively of the band The Pretty Reckless. They have a lot of these sort of songs here that have that sort of old school, sort of stompy, swaggy rock sort of sounds. They do a lot of songs like that, and this to me felt a lot like that. I certainly... now, I know there was one song they said on this album that apparently had a Nickelback beat. I would guess, just having heard the first 4 songs, this might... I can't remember which one it was they said that for, but I guess that first guess this would be maybe one that they could direct that off. But like I say, I would take away the Nickelback thing and do a more complimentary reference, in my opinion, to Pretty Reckless, who I think are a much more interesting band. So that's certainly what I got from this, was that kind of swaggy stomp rock feeling, and that was played out by a good chorus. Again, this is one of those choruses, it's not sort of like catchy, going to get you #1 single, but it's catchy enough that you can remember it and sing it along when you see them live. It's catchy enough that when it comes on when you're driving in your car, you're going to want to sing along to it, if you can sing Japanese or just can make the right sounds. It's one of those ones where it just has enough of a vibe to make it feel like a really good chorus, that every time it comes around it feels like a reward, which is what a chorus should do. It should be the bit of the song that, not that you throw away the rest of the rest of the song needs its own effort to build things up, but the chorus should be the bit that you feel like when it comes around you want to sing. And that's kind of what this achieves, despite not being, like I say, top 10 single catchy. So it's functional in all the ways it needs to be. And that's kind of what's interesting about this song. It doesn't need to be much more than functional. It just needs to be tight. It needs to be impactful, and it does all those things well. I had a nice little breakdown at the bridge. The bridge did what you'd expect from this kind of song. Usually I would say, it's a bit too simple for my taste, but in this type of song, after the songs that we've had before it as well, worked perfectly. Went down to just accenting again that stompy background beat, and then the solo was doing all its crazy stuff over the top. Perfect. I also like the fact that Akane at that point, that's when she added the double kicks, didn't do anything too flashy on my drums, still kept it impactful, but added the double kicks just to add something underneath. Like I say, I can't stand anything virtually more than the band who just does a bridge which is just a solo, and in the background all the other musicians just play exactly what they were playing in the verse or the chorus. I hate that. You've got to know that you can't just rely on the solo to do all the work for you, and as always, Band-Maid were intelligent enough to write in some extra accentation to the backing to lift up the solo, to give it the fact that you know that it's charging you towards that last chorus. Now, the last chorus had a nice little simple writing technique in, but just one that I really liked. You could say it was another breakdown at the beginning of the last chorus, but what was really interesting about it is that the backing, instead of the normal chord pattern, moved up to a higher chord, which builds up a sense of tension, and just stayed there. Boom, boom, boom. While the vocal kept on doing the same melody it was doing before, the backing had been moved up, but not as heavy. It was just sort of hitting the beat, but not thudding ahead. And what that did is it gave that, like I said, that tension. You were waiting for it to basically drop. Yep, that's right. It was basically an EDM moment. It was not as building up and getting louder, but it was building up a tension as it just stayed there, waiting for it to drop. And then when it comes down, you get that big release into the last crescendo, which is a nice technique. And I like the fact that they went into milking the last chorus, as I say, with the long-held vocals. Psyche was doing a really good ending to the song. So this one, on many levels, I'd say simple, rudimentary. All the simple techniques do work. Like I say, that little technique at the end, the way that they kept the beat nice and simple, and the way that everything just sort of functioned in a very straightforward way. Love the energy, but the whole thing, it all works better in that place as the song that breaks the high-speed energy and turns it into a more head-banging, decisive energy. So this works, I think, primarily as its functional position on the album. So I'm really glad to see that. Now, I know that there are different versions of the album. There's like a deluxe version of the album where it's broken into two, and the track orders are all different. Do not get me started on that. I'm all for giving bonus tracks, but I think an album order should be an album order. I'm going to consider the album order that they've released here to be definitive. And as the definitive album order, I think this was a great place to put the song, and I think it really elevates the song and gives it the position that maximizes what you get from it. So anyway, those are my opinions. As always, you know how this works. I've been working with music my entire adult life, but it doesn't mean my opinions are any more relevant than yours. Music is only as good as it is to the person who is listening. So please get in the comments, tell me what you think. As always, try to justify your opinions in the same way that I do, so that if we disagree, we can have a good conversation about it. Liking and subscribing are greatly appreciated. Following any of the social medias linked in the description below. Greatly appreciated as well. Big thank you to our Patreon supporters as always for keeping this whole operation running, because we're not monetized. You guys are really the lifeblood of this whole thing. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Of course, on top of that, a big thank you to you for making it through to the end of this Waffle Fest video. So until I see you hopefully soon from the next one of these here in Japan, we're releasing a new track from this album every day. For now, ciao ciao.